So over here, again, this is a simple example in the US. And over here we have the time frame, and the time frame is over 3 years. So we're going to have an intervention that lasts over 3 years. And you can see this in this part of the table where we're spending $120,000 a year over 3 years. Okay, simple. Our analytic horizon is over 10 years. So we want to see what benefits we get from our intervention over 10 years. And as you can see in the table, we go from 1 all the way down to 10 years. And again, because our intervention or our time frame is over 3 years, our cost is $120,000 over 3 years, and then it's zero for the remaining years. So that means we end up spending over $360,000 with this intervention over the period of 10 years. Because we have this intervention, we prevent a certain number of cases. And I'm not going to go into detail as far as how these cases prevented are calculated. I do have the calculations, and I will show you if we do have more time. But because of the intervention, these are the number of cases that we prevent by year. So in year 1, we prevent 54 cases. In year 5, we prevent 53 cases. And in year 9, we prevent 101 cases. And when you add all of that up, we prevent 781 cases. But we also have a savings. Because we're not spending money on these 54 cases, we prevent these cases from occurring. There's savings from us not spending any medical, we don't have any medical expenses that's being caused by these 54 cases, but because we prevented these. And because of that, we saved $32,000. And the same thing, for example, in year 6, we prevented 105 cases, and thus we saved $63,000. And when we add all that savings up, we end up saving almost $469,000 over 10 years. And if we look at this year by year, you can see the cost minus the benefits. The benefit is $32,000 minus the $120,000. We have a net cost of about $87,000. And you can see that we have a net cost, benefits minus cost, over the first 3 years. But after year 3, we start getting all these benefits where we are saving a great deal of money. And at the end, we end up saving $108,000. Now, this does not take into consideration the value of money, or we haven't calculated the net present value yet. So in order to calculate it, we need a discount rate. And in this situation, we're assuming that this is occurring in the US, and we have a discount rate of 3%. When we use this formula in which we have the benefits, you saw the benefits on the other table, you saw the cost on the other table. The benefit minus the cost give us one number. And then we divide it by 1 plus 0.03, which is 1.03, and we raise that to the year in which these costs and benefits occur. I'm going to take you to the actual Excel spreadsheet to let you see how the calculations are made. And so here we have the exact same table where we have, for example, in year 1, we spend $120,000, we prevent 54 cases, and we save in medical costs about $32,000. And the benefit minus the cost is very simple. It's just this benefit minus this cost that occurs in year 1. However, when we take into consideration net present value, this is the calculation that we have. The top part, H, is just the benefits minus cost, which is this. And then we divide it by 1 plus whatever our discount rate is, which is 0.03. And we raise that to the year that this occurs, which is in year 1. And you see when we do that, we have a net present value of $85,000. We do the exact same calculations in year 2, the benefits minus the cost, divided by 1 plus 0.03, but this time we raise it to the value of 2. And you see what the net present value is. And then, for example, in year 10, this is the benefits minus our costs, divided by 1 plus the discount rate, but then we raise this to year 10. And you see what the value is. And when we sum all of this up, we see that there's a big difference in the net present value benefits minus the cost versus just the regular benefits minus the cost. We have $51,000 when we take into consideration the net present value, but we have $108,000 when we don't take the value of money into consideration. And so you really need to think about this when you are doing your calculations, because this can make a big difference in what you recommend. But also remember, like I said, we do the same thing with our cases. It's the exact same calculations, but we do it with cases. So for example, in year one, it's the exact same calculation, but instead of the benefits minus the cost, we use cases. So we have 54 cases divided by 1 plus the social discount rate of 0.03 and raise that to the value of 1. So instead of preventing 54 cases, when we take into consideration time, we're going to prevent 52 cases. And for year 10, again, it's the exact same calculation, 101 divided by 1 plus the discount rate, raised to the power of 10. Okay? And now we have a value of $75, which is a lot less than the 101. And when we add all this up together, you see that when we calculate the net present value of cases, we only prevent 651 cases. We don't take into consideration the value of time is 781 cases. And so you can see that it is a big difference.